It's me again, motherfuckers. What is up with the double standard in America? I was just thinking about something. You ever notice they're always guilt-shaming us men, and we're perverts, and we're creeps, and we're misogynistic, and we're this, and we're that, and they're beating us over the head. You look at these women online. You look at women. Misogynistic misandry. What you actually have is misandry, this bias against men, this hatred, this contempt towards men. But they say everything's misogynistic. Is that true? Is that true? Do we throw acid on women's faces when they reject us like they do in India? No. Do we kill women, take them out into the public square? Take them out into the public square and kill them. Fucking kill them. Shoot them in the head because they did something wrong or they came against one of us, and we men are going to get together and we're not going to have it and we're going to fucking take care of her? No, we don't. We don't do anything remotely close to that. Women do whatever the fuck they want to do to us, and we just kind of shrug and move on. By the way, I'm not advocating any of this. I'm just using these examples to illustrate a point that I've been noticing in America that's got me fucking pissed off and disgusted. I'm sick of it. And it's not true. It's not even a fucking reality. Misogyny. No, what you have is misandry. Here. Definition of misandry.
Here's the definition of misandry. Dislike of, contempt for, or ingrained prejudice against men, i.e. the male sex.
They say we have misogyny. No. Where's that at? We men just want to be left the fuck alone. We don't even, we've gotten to the point we're going our own way. We're not sexless men, 30%. Women are going to have no kids and they're not getting married anymore. How is that misogyny? We're actually leaving. Like me, I left the military. Why? Two of my biggest problems came from female higher-ups that hated my guts. As a matter of fact, it was a woman who destroyed my entire military career. I went and sold some MREs to a military surplus store. She turned me in. She had to teach me a lesson and put me in my place for some reason. Next, and I was promotable. I had just gone to the board. I was going to get promoted and stay in and keep going. Because of her and what she did, they took away my promotable status. True story. I don't give a fuck because at the time it was devastating, but I don't give a fuck now because I'm doing much better and I make more money and I'm free. So it worked out, but they took away my promotable status. I just gone to the board. They locked me down on base, wouldn't let me leave, put me under investigation, and I would have been court-martialed because I sold government property. MREs to a military surplus store. She did that to me. I couldn't believe it. And yeah, I went through, I'm gonna track her down and fucking kill her. I'm gonna track her down and fucking have some fun with her. But did I do that? No. I just took it in the fucking ass. And I look at porn. I look at strip clubs. These women that show off their asses and their pussies for fucking money, aren't they creepy? Aren't they perverted? Aren't they misandrists? And you look at a lot of them, a lot of women in porn, they hate us. They can't stand us. For some reason, they fucking hate us. I don't know why. They just hate men. They have an attitude. You see that all the time. Porn. Women fucking and sucking like fucking crazed animals. I mean, you name it, they'll do it. Why am I labeled creepy or perverted for watching that shit? Why isn't she labeled creepy? Why isn't Sasha Grey labeled creepy for stuffing dicks down her throat till she's slobbering all over the place and then spitting on the camera and just being wild and fucking crazy and sexual as fuck? For everyone to see, right up inside her fucking twat. Right up inside her asshole. Alexis Texas, Kendra Lust, all these porn stars. Oh, I get it. You want to demoralize us men and beat us down and make us feel like shit and suppress us and kill us and on and on and on. But no one ever looks at the women like, and am I saying that they are all these things? Not necessarily. Actually, women like that are a lot of fucking fun, man. I mean, But what is up with this double standard? I don't get it. Oh, I get it. Once again, an attack on men. Once again, destroy the masculine. We're actually at a point in history where you had the sexual revolution back in the 60s and 70s and the homosexual. Then now we're on the decline where the men are actually, I would call it a sexual deconstruction or a sexual obliteration or oppression of men. Now it's our turn to be, it's like, what, you don't want to go fuck some kids? You don't want to be gay? You don't want to cut off your dick? Well, something's wrong with you. You like girls? You're a sick fuck. You're disgusting. Oh. Suppressed and oppressed like a motherfucker. And if you try to fuck with them, a lot of times, yeah, there's a lot of attitude and hatred out there. I don't get it. Does anybody else feel this or see this? How fucking it's upside down world now. Men, this is what we have to deal with in this country. This double standard where women can fucking, and they do, they're all over the just YouTube with their yoga stretches and being sexual as fuck. No one ever labels them perverted or creepy or weird or, but if I look at her or I, whatever, jack off to it or jack off to some fucking porn, I'm a sick fuck. I'm a piece of shit. I'm a creepy fuck. I even noticed this as a kid growing up. All my experiences with women in this country have, a number of them have been, a lot of it's been fucking weird and just fucked up. I think the feminist movement has even taught women that to not even admit that they like us, that they do. I see these videos on YouTube about a lot of these dating coaches. If a woman does this, she likes you. No, what I've experienced is, if even women that liked me, in the past with these relationships, they started out like they didn't like me. It's like they were afraid to admit it, like they couldn't admit it, let alone admit they want to have sex. They've got women all fucked up in this country. Even the whole thing is a shit show. I'm trying to stay on point though. I got so many vlogs to do, man. America is so fucked up at this point. Things are so convoluted. Things are so upside down. Things are so ass backwards. Sometimes that's why I used to not want to do this, because I'm like, it's not going to make any difference. There's no way to fix how fucked up everything is. And then I thought, you have no choice though but to try. Because if you continue, yeah, you'll go insane. Continue to do nothing. It's absolutely, it makes, how do you get grown adults to buy into all this shit and bow down to it and live in it? How do you do that? Through ego, through pride, through the manipulation of the ego? I think that's what it is. And you say, well, a lot of these, I remember my own mother growing up. She was outside suntanning one day in Idaho. I'll never forget this. She had a dislike for men because of what men had done to her. Some of these women, though, are just egotistical and arrogant. Men have never done anything to them, but they're just riding on the bandwagon because it works out for them and they're empowered, they feel. But she came in. I was going to go outside and open the door, and she came flying in like, oh, and she slams the door and she's like, oh, that Mexican landscaper keeps staring at me. And I was like, as a guy, I was like, well, yeah, I mean, he thinks you're pretty. I mean, what, do you want to go kill this motherfucker? You want to go kill him? Why is that a reason to get fucking crazy? Females in porn, females at strip clubs, females showing off their titties and their ass online, just on YouTube, and doing these yoga stretches. Why aren't they creepy? Why aren't they perverted? Why aren't they misandrists? A lot of them do hate us. They get off on fucking with us and just, they all those women in porn, they know they got guys, they've got boys jacking off to them. I saw my first fucking porno flick when I was 10, 11, 12. Those grown-ass women drinking sperm, all this shit they do, hypersexual. Why aren't they knowing everybody's watching? Why aren't they perverts? Why aren't they creepy? Why aren't they misandrists? Why aren't they... Oh, I get it. Why won't women take accountability for the role they've played in helping ruin this country? And ruining the masculinity in this country? And knock it off before we totally collapse, man. America's double standard. It's just another way they try to suppress, oppress, beat us down, demoralize us, and turn us into weak sacks of shit as men in this country. Make men lions again. Where are all the men? They're trying to figure out, how do we deal with all this insanity that we're up against? You know how I've dealt with it. I don't need permission from a family. I do whatever the fuck I want. I say whatever the fuck, and I don't give a fuck. That's something else. People, Dan Pena and people, Jordan Peterson, stop giving a fuck. No. It's one thing to tell somebody, but show me. What does that look like? Well, I'm going to show y'all. I've missed out. I wasn't filming when I've done it in the past. I'm going to go out and show you how to not give a fuck. I'll show you what that looks like. I got a lot of things I want to do. I want to do cold approaching. I want to figure all this shit out. I want to do it all. I want to talk about everything. Sick of it. So fuck it. Get involved. Become a leader. Exactly. Lead the way, bitch. Okay, fine. It's like when COVID was happening, it was like, somebody's got to do something about this. This is horrible. I mean, well, certainly some Navy SEALs will come forward and lead the way. And it was like God got in my face. He was like, hey, bitch, it's you. Why don't you do something? Why don't you be the guy to say the shit? Why don't you lead the way? Why don't you stop being a bitch? Are you too much of a bitch? So it's like, you know what? You're right. Why don't I take lead, take charge? Why don't I be the guy that does the shit and puts it all in? Yeah, well, fuck it. Okay, I will. And I hope I can inspire and influence other men to do the same. And I hope one day I wake up and I'm surrounded by a bunch of psychotic motherfuckers who have had it with this shit and don't give a fuck. We'll go all the way. And I hope it grows into a national fucking movement. And then we're going to do whatever the fuck we have to do to get all this shit off our backs, reclaim our fucking government, or die trying. That's what real motherfucking masculine men do. But they don't sit around and continually put up with all this fucking bullshit. All this fucking... It's pathetic.